Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brian, and today we are once again talking about the dbrand Killswitch case for the Switch 2. Last time we looked at the case, the screen protector, the dock adapter, the skin, all the things that came in the initial batch of deliveries. I covered the drama, I covered the design flaws, and where we left it was dbrand promised to replace the faulty grips and potentially roll out a whole new grip design that would resolve the issue entirely. They just had to solve some sort of manufacturing problem that prevented them from delivering it at scale. Well, they've solved it. They solved the manufacturing and they solved the design issue. And I have here everything from dbrand's Joy Lock replacement program, what they're calling the free replacements. And it includes more than just the new grips, but also some solutions to some other glaringly obvious problems with the Killswitch accessories. I am, of course, going to unbox all of this, try it out, give you my thoughts, as well as my thoughts as someone using the whole Killswitch system for the last, 2 months. But before I do, I just want to give a quick recap of the issues that they had to solve. Now, of course, I already went over all the drama, the different ways that dbrand completely blew it on the customer service front, so I'm not going to go back over that today. If you haven't seen that video, I encourage you to go check it out. I'll put the link somewhere up here. Also, if you enjoyed that video, this video, any of my videos, consider subscribing and checking out some of the ones you may have missed. I have all kinds of content, so I hope you check them out. Now, since I've already gone over all the finer details, let me just recap specifically the issues they were trying to solve with this replacement program. The main issue that dbrand was trying to solve was obviously the grip issue, which is that since dbrand was trying to make a case that allowed you to still remove the Joy-Con without taking it out of the case, they had to find a way to get this Joy-Con grip onto the Joy-Con itself without using any adhesives, because they believe that adhesives will wear out over time and leave sticky residue on all these things, which frankly I agree with. I didn't want to glue anything onto my Joy-Con. But the problem is, how do you connect it to this thing? Their solution was to add a teeny tiny little bit of lip right here on the inside of the Joy-Con. Unfortunately for dbrand, that teeny tiny little lip fills a teeny tiny little air gap that Nintendo built into their design intentionally, because otherwise the tiniest bit of leverage would rip the Joy-Con right off of the body of the Switch. So they had to figure out a way to attach the grip to the Joy-Con without getting in the way of that air gap and without compromising the structural integrity of the Switch 2. Their solution is to connect it just at the top and the bottom, leaving that air gap completely untouched. So allegedly, that means you have absolutely no compromising of the Joy-Con connection at all, and it will be as if there's no grip attached, period. We will see. We will see if it works. We will see if it is indeed like there's no grip on it at all. The other issues didn't involve the Killswitch case. They involved this dock adapter for the Switch 2 dock, which is essential because once you put the really thick dbrand case onto your Switch 2, it doesn't fit into the dock anymore. It gets in the way of the bottom as well. So they designed this really simple adapter that essentially is a USB extension cable. It's got the female in there, it's got the male on the outside. But the problem is, well, it's a little easier to show than to describe. So if you take the Switch 2, you take the dock, you put it onto the dock like so. You play your games, you're having fun. When you're done, you want to go back to handheld mode and you pull it off. That happens. The whole adapter comes right with it, which you may be surprised. You don't want that to happen. You don't want that to come with your Switch 2. So they had to solve that. They had to stop this thing from coming out because, you know, it's kind of a pain that you have to use 2 hands to remove it every single time. And even with 2 hands, I found that it would get kind of lightly unseated all the time. And so I'd go back, I'd plug my Switch 2 in, and it wouldn't charge, it wouldn't connect, it wouldn't anything. So it just was annoying. It was annoying, and at times I thought, oh no, did this thing break? Is it not working? So their solution was to add a friction pad, something that stops it from pulling out, that gives it a bit of resistance so you can remove it one-handed without the whole thing coming out. The other issue, which also involves the USB-C header, is that it's metal. It's metal exposed. Inside the dock is a little pressure plate and a bunch of grooves that make it align your whole switch so you're not accidentally dropping it onto the USB-C header accidentally in the wrong spot. And at the bottom of your Switch 2, just like the whole back, is this black brushed metal, which is extremely scratchable. So the fact that their adapter has no guides, it has nothing to help you align it. You have to take the little dot, align it to the line, and try to get it. It's super duper finicky, and you are going to scratch the bottom of your Switch 2. I have been extremely careful with it, and I am fortunate that I have not yet scratched the bottom of the device, but it's inevitable. If I were to just keep using this dock as it is, I would eventually scratch up the bottom of the Switch 2. There's no question about it. It's just going to happen. dbrand, their solution to that problem, is exceedingly simple. It's just a sticker. It's a sticker that you put right on the bottom. It's color matched and it protects it from scratches. I am happy with that solution. It's a really simple solution to a really simple problem that honestly should have been avoided in the first place. It's the only part of the Switch 2 outside of this top area here and here that is really exposed, like the metal part of it's really exposed, and yet it's the only part that they are, you know, forcing you to rub against metal all the time. So that is what they included in their Joy-Con Joy Lock replacement program, which I'm happy with. I didn't think that they were going to fix the dock issues. I didn't think they were going to fix the scratching issues. They also included a 15% off coupon if you bought anything from the website at the same time as getting your free replacements, which, you know, having just gone through all of this annoyance / nightmare of the Killswitch, I wasn't super in the mood to try out some other products from them, but they also included an exclusive new skin. Just like my Glowbot skins for the Joy-Con, they created a brand new exclusive one just for the replacement program that looks like the original Switch colors, but has that kind of see-through Nintendo 64 inspired aesthetic, which I bought. I gave them more money. They succeeded, but I mostly did it. I mostly did it for you, my loyal viewers, so that I could take a look at it and let you know what I think. I also did it because I don't know how long these stickers are going to really last. I don't know how they're going to hold up over time, but it'll be nice to have some replacements. I'm not going to swap them out today. I'm going to hold on to them for the long term. I don't mind this look at all. I've been happy that it gives it a pop of color, even if it's just white. I never experienced the glow in the dark, to be honest. I don't sit outside and play and then enter a very dark room very often. So the glow in the dark part is a gimmick. I was excited about it, but in practice, I never really experience it. It's usually in a bag when I'm walking outside. But that's it. That's all the problems that they had to solve. The Joy-Con issue, the dock sliding off, the dock scratching your Switch. The skin is just a nice little bonus. But let's open everything up, let's put it on, and let's see if they actually fixed it. All right, let's start with these. These are the replacement grips for the Joy-Con. And oh wow, look at that. Nothing else in the case. Just these. Whew, smell that. Off-gassing. What? Hate it. I hate the foam. Okay, they look exactly like they look exactly like the other ones, you know. Been right next to each other. Very, very similar. Very, very similar. But where they differ is absolutely no inner lip. That is flush. The only parts that come over the Joy-Con are a tiny little, so that's plastic at the top, same plastic as the rest of the grip, but also this little lip at the bottom. Now this one is metal, and if I had to guess, it's this little metal part that caused them the most grief in the manufacturing process. I can't say that for sure, but just looking at it, the metal that is here goes through, I'll try to make it so you can see it on the camera, but it covers pretty much the whole bottom is all one big metal part. So that is what is really truly going to grip the Joy-Con, is this metal part, and then of course the top as well. But you know, my first thought was, why didn't they make that metal? I would imagine it's because they needed it to have a bit more give to attach to the Joy-Con in the first place. So otherwise, it's pretty much the same. Feels the same in my hand. But let's swap it on here. So we'll start with the right Joy-Con. I believe you just pop it out. Yep, just out like that. There is my naked Joy-Con, and as you can see, sticker still looks good. So the sticker still looks good. Like I said, I like the look of this Glowbot skin. But there you go, that's the blank Joy-Con. Let's just, for fun, pick her up. Ooh. So that's it. That's the feeling I should get. I do not get that with the grip on. So that is secure. I feel good about that. Okay, so comparing these two, you can see just how much lip. It's so little, and yet it's just enough to compromise the structural integrity of the Joy-Con Switch 2 body connection, which is kind of crazy. But glad to see they got rid of it. I see why they had to do it in the first place, but see, no metal lip at the bottom versus metal lip at the bottom. Oh, that's interesting. It was not at all covering the bottom. That's so funny. I thought for sure that this top plastic part was on the original, but it just wasn't. They didn't use the top and the bottom really at all. They did the same tiny little bit, tiny little lip all the way around the full Joy-Con. So interesting. Okay, big change. Let's put that to the side. Let's pop this guy off again. And we should be able to, I would assume we got to go metal first, and then just got to get that top lip over. Oop, it's getting caught. It's getting interestingly caught. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, a little harder to get on than the last one, but as you can see, the numbers are completely exposed. You can see right there, there's actually, it's not just flush, it's actually below the line of the Joy-Con, which is great. That's what we want. Feels the same. Feels like the same exact Joy-Con grip as it was before, but what we should find is that's secure. That's it. They solved it. Simple as that. Simple as that. Yeah. Whoa. Flex. No flex. Solid. Nothing supporting. Whoop, 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 whoop. That's great. Okay, that's what it should have been day one. That's what it should have been day one. Comes off, goes back on, seamlessly, flawlessly. Nice. I like that. Okay, Good, good. All right, so that's one. Let's put that back on there. Let's do the other. We take that, so you can see once again, the numbers are partially covered. That whole back is covered, which you don't want. We'll take it off the same way we put it on. Like that, and like that. Easy, easy off. And we've got this guy. Okay, we go bottom first. Bottom first, and then we get the buttons aligned. In the back is what I find easier. And then we really gotta push, work it all the way forward. Come on. There it is. There it is. Boom. Joy-Con grip installed. And you can see once again, all the numbers are exposed and it is flush. Flush if not lower, which is great. Put that back on here. Give that a try. Whack. Solid, 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 solid. Solid, 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 solid. Yeah, yeah. You know, the number of times you are playing a game, you're holding it, and then you go to do something, anything else. Maybe you're watching TV too. You change the TV. You hold it. You end up doing that all the time. This is solid, solid, solid. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, fixed. Let's do the dock fixes. The first one still involves the switch. That's the friction pad. So here is the sticker for the bottom. Oh, it's a thin sticker. Ah! That is one thin sticker. Okay, so sticker is on. I think I'm like a millimeter off. Not even. I think I'm a quarter of a millimeter off to the left here, but overall it's fine. It's something I can't live with. So there you go. That's the sticker is attached. You would be hard pressed to notice that on the bottom of a Switch 2 if you were to look at it even closely. So that's great. Next is the friction pad. Now what's funny is you get this long set of instructions for the sticker. You don't get it on here. You get scan for instructions. These do have to be installed in a very specific way. So let's just get this guy out of here. So we don't need the dock for this. We need just the adapter. Now where we are installing is here and here, these little corners. And what they will presumably do is grip onto the sides at the bottom. Okay, yeah, so that's their solution, is just a rubber connection at the very bottom. So you take out two little pads. Oh, they're so tiny. They're so tiny. They're so tiny. Look at these little things. Look at these little things. They're so tiny. Okay, so the vertical pads have a tiny little arrow. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but they have a tiny little arrow pointing up to face upwards, I do believe. Kaboom. That's one. And so I think I did that right. So that's one, too. Lined and aligned. So that's one, and that's two. Arrow up, arrow up. So what it should do is provide a little bit of resistance at the very bottom. So go down. Oh, quite a bit of resistance. Hey, that's what you want to see. Look at that. It picks up the whole dock. Yes. Okay, simple. Simple friction pads. Boom. That's back. Take it. One finger onto the dock itself, and you just thwunk, and that's off. Simple. but a massive annoyance. It was massively annoying to have that happen every time, and the friction pad, or the scratch sticker, really adds a lot of peace of mind to putting it on there. Just to be sure, let's just get the charging cable up in here. Boom! Charging! All right, and then if I do that, comes right off. Still, and then is it still good? Yes! Okay. Boom! I love it. That is what we wanted. We wanted a dock adapter that doesn't come off every single time you take the switch off. That is... what a relief. Oh, it was so annoying. It was so annoying. All right, so there you go. That is the dock adapter fixed. That is the grip fixed for the Killswitch, which, look at that. Boom. Never would have done this. I never would have done that for the last, 2 months, as I found myself constantly like, oh, I'm thirsty, I'm gonna have a drink over here, you know? So this is now officially a protective case. It just wasn't. It wasn't, under no circumstance could you call a case that weakens the structural integrity of your device a protective case. I will say this, despite everything, despite the dock coming off all the time, not being seated right, so I'd have to redo it, especially because I take this whole thing, I'll take it downstairs, I'll watch it on my TV, I'll take it up here, I'll stream on my computer, so it was constantly coming off. It was constantly, like, I couldn't just do this, I couldn't pick it up. Even with that issue, and even with the Joy-Cons feeling weak every single time, I have been very pleased with this case. You could make it a little more ergonomic if you made it like the slightly out, slightly flared out. It could be a little more comfortable, but what you would sacrifice is how compact it is. I love how compact this thing is. I throw on the cover, and I've flown across the country a couple times with this thing, and I can tell you, this right here, boom, is a tank. Absolute tank. I accidentally dropped it on the airplane. I was putting it gently back into my backpack with no case, just like this. Dropped it, threw it on the ground. It was totally fine, which I appreciate. This is exactly what I had hoped it would be, except one minor, I don't know if it's a complaint or a critique, but they made the front of the case see-through, right? So that you could see not only your Joy-Con color, but also all the games that you have in here. You're supposed to show off your games. As you can see, I have them facing the wrong way for the design. But when you open it up, you want to see what your games are. You want to pick your game. You don't want it to be, you know, so, okay, let's say I flip around Jamboree, I flip around Breath of the Wild, I flip around Tears of the Kingdom. Okay, so now it's the show off your games mode, but I mean, look at that. Can you really see? Can you really tell what game it is? I don't think so. Even on the, I'll give it its full justice. That, you can't really tell what it is. You can't see it. You're not sitting there looking across the train from me going, oh, whoa, he's playing Breath of the Wild. Good for him. Whoa, how cool is he? And then when you take it out, what game is that? You know, you have to sit here and go, okay, I want to, okay, third one in, I think that's Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, it's Tears of the Kingdom. So that is, to me, my biggest now design flaw, which, to be clear, who cares? Honestly, who cares? I don't care that this is what it looks like on the outside. I only want to be able to see my games when I open it up. Otherwise, I love the travel cover. I think the travel cover, outside of the removable Joy-Con, the travel cover really truly was what I was into the most. It has access to the USB-C on top. It has access to the USB-C at the bottom, so you can charge it while it is fully in the case. Because I worried when this covered up, I was like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to charge. Shazam! Nintendo gave us 2, so this has been great. I've been very pleased with the travel cover. I don't mind that I had put the Switch 2 on the outside of the dock. I am not going to be taking this into a backpack. I'm not going to be traveling with this. But at home, I don't care. I don't care. In fact, there's an argument to be made that this dock adapter actually allows for a shorter entertainment center. Now, you don't want it to be too close. You don't want it to overheat your Switch 2. But, you know, I've got my little shelving thing behind me, and I can't get the Switch 2 or the original Switch in and out of the dock if there is anything within that much room of the top of the dock. So the fact that this can go in and out from just that amount, right? That opens up some opportunities as to where you can put it. But once again, there better be enough airflow around it or else you'll overheat, which you don't want to do. But I've been impressed with this. Like I said, it's just a USB-C extension cable. It's not adding any cooling, as we went over last time. The fan that's inside the dock only cools the dock. It doesn't cool the Switch 2 itself. I haven't had any overheating issues while playing it in 4K on my TV. I really do genuinely like the feel of the grip. I like the look even of these. I almost forgot. I almost forgot. I bought the damn skins. What was I thinking? All right. Boom. Here we go. The exclusive dbrand Joy-Lock replacement skins. If I can get it out of here. Okay. That's what it looks like. It looks like an image of the inside of the Joy-Con. I can't imagine that, well, maybe they took it apart. Looking at it, I mean, it looks like the real deal, right? I don't know if this is an artist's rendering or the real thing. Looking at it in person, okay, they're trying to make it look like opaque, semi-opaque plastic. So the print is a little soft, right? Like it's not a sharp print of the inside of it, which kind of makes it look cheap, but how it would look on the Joy-Con themselves, you know, it's fun. This one has so much texture to it, which I appreciate. I like the feel of it, even though your hand's not really touching it, so you're not really going to notice it that much. I think I like my Glowbot skin more, but I do like that it's color. I love the see-through aesthetic. This is definitely my vibe. I'm not going to swap these out right now. Down the road, I'll swap them when I get super tired of the Glowbot, when I get tired of the all-white look. You know, this is kind of a black and white aesthetic, which is not typically my vibe, but it really does help it stand out, which I appreciate. So, yeah, there you go. Was it worth whatever it was, 13 bucks? Sure, it was worth it. Maybe I'll get a second pair of Joy-Con and I'll throw these on there. Who knows? I don't want to spend $95, but it's good to have a second set. So there you go. That's everything. We shouldn't have been put in this position in the first place. We should not have had to wait on dbrand to fix the designs. We shouldn't have needed them to create a replacement program. We shouldn't have needed them to hear our pleas of these are broken and listen to them say, we're not doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. Mistakes were obviously made by dbrand. They acknowledged that, and I'm really glad that they fixed it. I'm glad that they'll fix it for free if you don't buy the extra stuff. But the only question that remains is, am I happy with it? And would I recommend you buy one if you haven't already, or if you're waiting on your pre-order still from months in, should you cancel? Should you cancel and return? I think that at this point, you can assume that the major flaws are resolved. So I don't think you should look at this as a defective design. I don't think you should look at this as some sort of customer service issue anymore. Obviously, you're still gonna have to wait for everything, and obviously this is gonna leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths about dbrand, and that's justifiable. It's a reasonable thing. But should you buy this now with it all fixed? I think yes. I think that this is a solid ecosystem. I am now very happy with it. I wish you did not need the dock adapter. I wish that this thing was thin enough to fit into the dock. That is a major downside, and that's enough of a downside to not buy it. Honestly, the dock adapter is enough. I personally don't mind it. It works. It now won't come off, and I don't care that I can't see the front of my Switch 2 dock. That's fine. The next biggest negative is the fact that these don't flare out. If you prefer a flared controller, this is not the grip for you. Maybe wait to see if somebody else does a removable grip that flares, or you may be stuck getting, the Satisfy or something that may not be removable. I don't know if they're going to be removable, but I believe Satisfy grips usually do have a pretty substantial flare. So if you like that, don't get this. If you don't want the adapter, don't get this. If you don't mind the adapter and you value a compact design over a flared design, like I do, then this whole thing is genuinely great. This is a win. This is a full win. I think there's a couple other cases that have similar screen covers, so whatever grip you end up buying, make sure it has one of these, because I don't want to carry around a big fat case that this goes into, that case has to go into my backpack. I want this. I love this. The see-through thing, whatever. It's not, to me, it's not very practical. I want to see what my games are, and even when they're flipped around, you can't really tell what they are. So that is, I think, a bit of a swing and a miss, but the actual protective cover, excellent. Excellent. This travel ecosystem is perfect. I love that. I love traveling with this whole thing in the travel cover. I love it. But what do you think? Do you think that now that they've solved their big problems, this is a viable case grip accessory ecosystem? Or do you think it should be avoided, whether it's because of dbrand's customer service mishaps or the fact that a dock adapter is a pain in the butt, or that the grip doesn't look that comfortable? You let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to see more content like this. Consider following me on Instagram to be notified whenever a new video goes live. And if you are still here, thank you so much for watching. That'll do it for this one. Until next time, peace.